Title: aitah for physically defending myself from a grown man. When I was late bringing his daughter home, it was past 11:30 p.m. when I finally pulled into their driveway. Headlights slicing through the darkness, rain whispering on the windshield. Emily sat beside me, quiet, scrolling her phone, pretending not to notice how nervous I was. I was supposed to bring her home by 10. Her dad had a reputation in town, strict, controlling, the kind of man who saw late as a personal insult. I'm 19, Emily's 20. We've been dating for 6 months. She's smart, stubborn, and beautiful in that way that makes you forget your own name. But her father never liked me. Not because I'd done anything wrong, but because I wasn't his kind of man. I work at a car garage, take night classes, and live in a small apartment. He once told Emily that I was the kind of mistake girls make before they grow up. When we got to her house, the porch light was off, unusual. Normally, he'd leave it on like a warning beacon. Emily sighed. "He's mad," she said softly. "Just let me talk first, okay?" Before I could answer, the front door swung open. Her dad stood there, a tall man with a shadowed face and a voice like gravel. "You think this is funny?" he barked. "You bring my daughter home late again and ill." He didn't finish. He just grabbed Emily's arm and yanked her toward the door hard. She cried out, not loud but sharp enough to make something in me snap. "Hey, don't," I started, stepping forward. He turned on me. "Stay the hell out of my house. It's your driveway," I said before I could stop myself. "And you don't need to hurt her." His face went red. He let go of Emily and took a step down toward me. "You don't tell me how to raise my kid." "She's not a kid," I shot back. The next few seconds felt like a blur, a mix of fear and adrenaline. He shoved me hard in the chest and I stumbled back against my car. Then he came closer, chest puffed, eyes wild. I could smell the whiskey on his breath. "You think you're a man?" he growled. "Try me." Something primal kicked in. Maybe it was the way Emily looked at me. Terrified. Or maybe I'd just had enough of being treated like trash. When he shoved me again, I reacted. I grabbed his wrist, twisted, and pushed him off. He lost his balance and fell to the wet ground, hitting his elbow hard. Emily gasped. He groaned, then looked up at me with pure hatred. "You hit me." "I didn't." I started. "You attacked me." "I just defended myself." "Get off my property," he hissed, voice shaking with fury now. I laughed. Emily stayed. I could hear them yelling as I drove away. Her voice breaking, his slamming door echoing behind me. The next morning, I woke up to 20 missed calls from Emily. When I finally picked up, she was crying. "My dad told everyone you beat him up. He's saying he's pressing charges." I couldn't believe it. "Emily, you saw what happened." "I know," she whispered, "but he told my mom I'm not allowed to see you anymore. He took my phone last night. I had to sneak it to call you." "Emily, I'm not gonna let him ruin this." But he did. A week later, I got a call from a local officer asking me to come in for a statement. Her father had bruised his elbow and claimed I attacked him without provocation. Emily refused to testify against me, so her dad twisted the story until I looked like the aggressor. At the garage, my boss started giving me fewer shifts. "Someone must have called him. Not good for business," he said. Emily tried to sneak out to see me twice, but both times her dad caught her. The last time, she told me she was leaving home. I begged her not to. Not until she had somewhere safe to go. Then she disappeared. A month later, she texted me from an unknown number. "I'm okay. Don't look for me. It's better this way." That was the last I ever heard from her. Now it's been almost 2 years. I still think about that night, the rain, the look in her eyes, the sound of her father hitting the ground. I replay it over and over, wondering if I should have just let him yell, if I should have swallowed my pride and walked away sooner. But here's what eats at me. If I hadn't pushed him, he might have hurt her worse. Maybe not that night, but eventually. Still, every time I tell someone what happened, I can see doubt flicker behind their eyes. Like they're wondering if I really just defended myself or if I snapped. So I defer physically defending myself from a grown man when I was late bringing his daughter home. It was late afternoon when I got the first clue that Emily might still be alive. My apartment was quiet, the kind of quiet that presses on your chest when the phone buzzed. The number was unfamiliar, local, but masked in a strange way. The area code didn't match our town. "Hello," I said cautiously. A familiar voice, almost a whisper, came through. "Don't call me. Don't try to find me." I froze. Her voice, so thin, almost broken, cut straight through the fog of anger, fear, and loneliness I'd been living in for 2 years. "Emily, is that you?" I asked. my throat tight. Yes, she whispered, almost afraid she might be overheard. But you have to listen, you have to understand why I left. I sank onto the edge of my couch. I had waited, hoped, even cursed myself for not being able to protect her better that night. And now, here she was, alive but trembling, scared, distant. I couldn't stay, she said. He has ways of finding people. I couldn't risk you getting hurt again. Or me. I thought I was protecting you by disappearing. Her words were heavy, thick with pain I hadn't imagined. I wanted to scream at her for leaving, for disappearing, for leaving me to fight alone against her father's lies. But I couldn't. Not yet. I don't care about that, I said. I need to know you're safe. Tell me that. She hesitated. Then, finally, I'm in the city. Far from here. I can't tell you exactly where. Not yet. But I'm okay. We talked for hours. I learned that after she left, she had stayed in cheap motels, took odd jobs, even changed her hair, her style. Anything to avoid recognition. Her father had gone to extreme lengths to make people distrust me, to make everyone think I was dangerous. Emily didn't want to risk me being punished again. But then she said something that froze me. Has still looking for me, and now has more dangerous than ever. He knows him out there. My stomach dropped. The man who had already tried to control her life was still hunting her, and I had been sitting here powerless all this time. I wanted to go after her, to tell her I'd protect her no matter what. But she interrupted my thoughts. You can't, not yet. If you do, hell find both of us. You'll get hurt again. Has smart. Has not the man you think he is. Has more than that. I sat back in silence, my hands trembling. I had been imagining that night over and over, the fight, the adrenaline, the fear, but I never considered that his obsession could reach this far, that the danger had never really ended. Then she said something that chilled me to the bone. Remember that night you defended me? The way you hit him? That changed him. Has obsessed with revenge now. And has planning something. I can feel it. For the first time, I realized how dangerous it had been to defend myself. My act of survival hadn't just saved her that night. It had triggered something in him, something dangerous and unpredictable. Over the next few days, I tried to trace her digital footprint. Every location, every contact, she was meticulous, almost paranoid. But I also realized that her fear was real, and that anyone tracking her, including her father, could follow even the smallest clue. Then came the message that made my blood run cold. He knows you're thinking about her. You can't hide from what comes next. Choose carefully. Someone who watches. It wasn't from her. It was from someone else. Someone who knew her father, who knew me, and was warning me. I couldn't sleep. I started keeping a bag packed, researching ways to protect Emily without revealing my location. I became obsessive, calculating every step, every potential threat. I realized that 2 years of fear and guilt had only scratched the surface of what was coming. And then the breakthrough came. Emily finally dared to trust me enough to reveal a single, secret detail. The name of the person hiding her, a friend of a friend, a place where he would never find her easily. The plan was risky. It involved meeting in person in a city far from our town under the cover of night, and I had to be careful. One mistake and her father could trace her. The night of the reunion was tense. Rain streaked the streets like it did that fateful night. My heart pounded, the memories of the first night replaying with every step. And then I saw her, older, tired, but still the Emily I remembered. She ran into my arms and I held her, trembling. But the relief was short-lived. A shadow lingered at the edge of the street, a figure watching. I knew without a doubt. He had found us. And that's when I realized this story wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Every act of defense, every attempt to escape, every secret, it had only made him more relentless. The question I kept asking myself as Emily whispered my name, am I still defending her? Or am I walking into a trap I can't escape? The shadow lingered like a predator, half hidden by the rainy night. I tightened my grip on Emily's hand, feeling the weight of fear mixed with desperation. 2 years of running, hiding, and hoping had led to this moment. And now it all threatened to unravel. We have to move, I whispered, dragging her down a side alley. The sound of our footsteps splashing in puddles blending with the distant rumble of traffic. She didn't resist. She trusted me. But I could feel the tension radiating from her. The same tension that had always made her eyes so sharp, so alive. I glanced back. The shadow didn't follow, but I knew it was still there, watching, waiting. We ducked into a nondescript building. an old warehouse converted into tiny artist studios. It smelled of paint, damp wood, and the faint tang of forgotten cigarettes. Emily's friend, the one she'd trusted to hide her, was waiting. A small woman with sharp eyes and a haunted look. "Quick," she said, ushering us in. "Hell no, you're here soon if you linger." I nodded, adrenaline pumping. "How long can we stay?" "Long enough to plan the next move," the friend said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But not much longer. Has relentless. And has learned from the last time." Emily clutched my arm. "I can't keep running like this," she said. "I can't keep disappearing. I just want normal, even for a moment." I pulled her into a chair, gripping her shoulders. "Well, get it. I promise. But you have to trust me completely. No missteps." She nodded, tears running down her cheeks. The vulnerability was new, almost frightening. I realized then that Emily had grown strong. Stronger than I had ever imagined. But the weight of fear had left deep marks. Over the next days, we created a careful plan. We traced patterns, monitored movements, and communicated in codes only we understood. Emily's father was not a man who acted impulsively. He was methodical, calculated, which made him terrifying. Every friend of his, every connection, every hint we left behind could be a trap. One night, as we sat in the dim glow of a single lamp, Emily whispered something that made my blood run cold. "Has been watching me through cameras," she said. "Not just here. Everywhere. Hotels, streets, stores, has always 2 steps ahead, has obsessed, and has dangerous." I felt a chill run down my spine. "We need to draw him out. We need to know exactly what he wants." She shook her head. "You don't understand. What he wants, it's not just to control me. He wants to punish you. He wants to make me suffer through you." I swallowed hard. The fight from 2 years ago, the adrenaline, the rush of self-defense, it all came back. He had turned it into a vendetta, and Emily had been hiding from it ever since. We decided on a risky strategy, to make him think we were scattered, weak, vulnerable, to lure him into a trap where we could finally confront him safely, or at least protect Emily once and for all. Days turned into nights of preparation. I slept in bursts, ate even less, and lived in constant fear. Emily stayed close, whispering details, warning me when a stranger seemed out of place. The tension between us was electric. Fear, trust, anger, and longing intertwined. Then, one night, the inevitable happened. A car pulled into the street outside our safe house, slow, deliberate. I saw him through the cracked blinds. Her father, older than I remembered, eyes cold, unreadable. But his presence was heavier, darker, a shadow over everything we had tried to build. Emily froze. Has here," she whispered. I grabbed her hand, my heart pounding. "Stay behind me." He didn't knock. He didn't call. He stepped out of the car, hands in his pockets, calm, measured. But I knew better. That calmness was worse than rage. It was planning, calculation. "Emily," he said, voice low, almost a whisper, yet it carried power. "I've been looking for you." And for him, I stepped forward. "Stay away from her. You're done hurting her. You're done controlling her life." He smiled, but it wasn't a smile of kindness. It was sharp, dangerous, like a knife drawn slowly across skin. "You think you can stop me? You think you know what I've been planning all this time?" Emily's grip tightened on my arm. "Dad, please, just leave us alone." He ignored her completely. He looked at me, and I saw it. The obsession, the vendetta, the dark, twisted need to dominate. He lunged forward, quick, precise, and I reacted instinctively. The fight was brutal, a blur of rain, fists, and fear. I wasn't just defending myself. I was defending the only person I had left in this world, who mattered, and for the first time in years, I realized something terrifying. I might have to destroy him to protect her. Emily screamed. I ducked. He swung. I countered. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. A single shot rang out. The world froze. I turned, heart racing. A figure stood in the shadows, Emily's friend, holding a pistol. Her father was on the ground, clutching his arm, fury and shock in his eyes. "Run!" she shouted. "Take her now." We didn't hesitate. Emily and I sprinted into the rainy night, the city lights reflecting off wet pavement. Adrenaline roaring in our veins. I looked back once. Her father was still alive, seething, but for now we were free. We didn't know what would happen next. We didn't know if he would recover, regroup, or find us again. But for the first time in 2 years, Emily and I felt something that had been almost impossible. Hope, and yet, deep down, I knew the real battle wasn't over. Not until he was gone for good.